New YouTube channel's gonna be called One Nut Comedy.
Come on, man.
Ain't no lie, I started with Like I said, my name's Mark. I'm old Dustin, man. I came all the way down here so y'all can see me. You know, I wouldn't ask how y'all doing, but I really don't give a shit, man. To be honest with you. I do this for my own amusement, not for y'all's. I don't tell jokes, I just tell stories, man. That's really all I got. I've had some crazy shit in my life. I ain't always lived a good life, man. I've always had a problem with drinking. I always had a problem with my temper. You know, hell, I've got 3 ex-wives. Plan on having some more. Just kind of how life works. You know, I worked for the penitentiary for 15 years. Most of that probably should have been in there. It's kind of hard to go to work when you got called in from jail. But growing up, man, I was all about fast trucks and fat girls, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. I want to make sure I got a truck that can get away from where I need to be. Make sure I can carry 1 or 2 fat girls with me, you know? That's what it was about. Well, growing up, man, I was driving down I-20. I was about 16 years old. Heading to my girlfriend's house. This little old Mustang pulls up beside me. It acts like it wants to race, man. Revs up on me. I said, well, hell, boy, I got a little bit of something for you. I built this truck to race. Let's go. So I take on that Mustang a little bit, and I just play with it a little bit, and the next thing you know, I just leave that motherfucker in my dust, man. I don't even think about it no more. I go about 3 or 4 miles down the road, take my exit, heading to Escota. Little population, about 50 people, live there about 100 years, little ghost town. Well, right in front of my girlfriend's house, there's 3 troopers, man. They set up a barricade for me. So they come up to my truck, they got me pulled over. And they come up and they said, son, you know why we got you pulled over? I said, no, sir, but I'm ready to go to jail. He said, why do you say that? I said, because I ain't gonna explain to that man on that porch up there why I got 3 troopers up my ass. Y'all just go ahead and take me to jail. He said, well, you know how fast you were going back there? No, sir, I ain't got a clue what you're talking about. He said, back there when you was racing that Mustang. I said, boy, that wasn't no race, man. I let that motherfucker in my dust. He said, son, what you fail to realize, we've been in a high-speed pursuit for 3 counties against that guy. I said, I didn't see y'all either.
Okay, you got us there, buddy.
He said, well, you know how fast you was going? I said, no, I have no clue. He said, well, we clocked you at 96. I said, y'all must have caught me at the exit. We're going on in life, man. In the future and stuff, man. Got a good buddy of mine's getting married. I own a business down in Mexico. So I took him down there with me one week and he go check on my stuff and everything. So while we're down there, he's like, well, I want to go to Boys Town. Anytime I take anybody with me, I all want to go to Boys Town. You know, that's just the thing. I was like, all right, man, I'll take you up there. Let's go. So we go up there, what's called the Hunter's Lounge, a little strip club. Now, that's a nice strip club. It's clean, it's nice. They got some pretty nice looking women in there. It ain't too bad, man. Well, you walk across the alley there and you go to the No Name Strip Club. There's a reason it has no name. This is a place you go to watch the donkey show or anything else you want to see. And I don't know if you've ever seen the donkey show. That ain't the nasty part. The nasty part is watching the men walk back with the women in the back after the donkey show. That's just disgusting. That's a whole different story. But anyways, we're sitting there in the strip club, having a few drinks, and then this lady comes out to dance. When I say lady, I mean like your great-grandmother. Okay, she's 92 years old, and life has not been good. Everything hangs to the floor. And she comes out butt naked, and she glows in the dark. I want to tell you, it's horrible. There's veins and shit, there's everything. And she's carrying a fishbowl. And what she does is she goes around and gives you somebody a lap dance. You got to pay her to get off of you. That's her old scheme. Hell, I blew a couple $100 just giving her $10 just to give total strangers lap dances. I'm laughing my ass off, man. This is awesome. Hell, she's making a killing, you know. Me and my buddy got the idea from the thing from watching her. We're like, hell, we're gonna start a mariachi band and call it the Fishbowl. You gotta pay us to quit singing. Well, anyways, that goes on. A few other strippers come out, no big deal. Then this young lady comes out, very beautiful. She comes out and starts dancing. They start turning the lights down real low. She puts a candle in her ass and a candle in her pussy, lights lights it up. She starts dancing in the dark. It's a pretty spectacular show, man, to watch. Well, at the end of this dance, what she likes to do is she gets down on spread eagle, she puts a pack of Marlboro Reds in front of her. Well, you gotta go up there and light a cigarette on one of them candles. So I get my old boy to go up there, man, go up there and light that cigarette. So he goes up there and lights a cigarette on a candle coming out of her butthole. Well, I paid an old boy $5. These are Polaroid days back then, you know. Take a little Polaroid picture. She signs it for him. Whole thing, so we got this picture. Fast forward about a month or so, I'm standing up in this wedding. And it's a Catholic wedding. I don't know if y'all ever been to one of them, but it's like doing a hokey pokey and aerobics, man. You're up there moving up and down and around, and it takes hours. It's ridiculous, man. I needed a drink the whole time I was there. So while his bride is coming down the aisle, and they're playing Here Comes the Bride, I decided that's the perfect time. I reach inside my vest pocket there, because I had to wear a monkey suit. And I pull the sappiest card you ever seen in your life out. I'm talking about something your great grandmother buy you. I mean, it's something sappy, man. And inside that card, taped to it, is that Polaroid picture of him lighting that cigarette off that stripper's butthole. He can't react, because everybody, I mean, there's hundreds of people in this damn church watching this. So after the wedding, we're riding around in a limousine. And his wife's like, what did Mark give you in the middle of that wedding? Oh, he just gave him $50, man. That's all it was. You know, his timing sucks. Let me tell you something real quick. I'll accept any drink y'all want to give me, man, because I drink cold whiskey. But I sure as hell ain't buying you one. So she knew that was a lie. Right off the bat, I'm cheap, man. I'll tell you that right now. I'm proud to admit it. Well, same old boy, you fast forward a little bit. I was drinking at the house, having a good time. We decided we got a wild hair, decided we're gonna drive to Lubbock, man, about 60 miles away. I said, well, hell, let's just drive in my Jeep. I've got a 71 Jeepster Commando, man. They only made 7,000 of these. Completely rare vehicle. Most people ain't never even seen one. Well, I'm driving down the interstate with a bottle in my hand. I might as well have a sign that said, pull me over and take me to jail. Because I passed a state trooper with this bottle in my hand. He pulls me over, he said, how much you had to drink? I said, well, this bottle was full when I left Big Spring about 100 miles ago. So we went to jail. If I got any advice for anybody, don't ever go to jail early. It's like 8 o'clock, man, it sucks. So we're sitting in jail. They book us in there, they put us in a drunk tank. They don't search us, they don't check us, they don't do nothing. So we're sitting in this drunk tank. I'm like, fuck, I'm hungry, man. I ordered 3 large pizzas, so I had my phone on me. Get them delivered to the jailhouse. They're pissed as fuck, because they're in there like, who the hell ordered these pizzas? They said, well, we got a guy named Mark that ordered these pizzas, already paid for it. So they come down the cell and they're like, did you order some pizzas? I was like, yeah, I got y'all one too, man, what's up? How the fuck you order these? I said, boys, y'all didn't even search us, man. Like, shit, what do you think I ordered them, man? I only got my credit card, my fucking phone, I got everything on me, shit. Hell, I got a pistol in my back pocket as far as you know. I'm like, shit, man. We all work for the same fucking people. I know what you're supposed to do here, but y'all didn't even check us, so fuck you, man. Y'all accept y'all's pizzas, bring the rest of them to the drug tank, so we all ate good that night. Well, fast forward life, man, I got a little sick. Went to the doctor. I went up there and I told him, I said, hey man, I got a busted toe, I got an enlarged testicle, and I got the flu, man. I need to get checked out. They gave me a shot for the flu. This little Asian doctor gets down and he checks out my testicle. And he says, man, that sucker's huge. I said, no, man, that motherfucker shrunk. The other one, man. Shit, what are you talking about? Needless to say, they send me to the ball specialist, man, so I go see him. They got me in the hospital. They're gonna remove one. Find out I got cancer. I had to go through treatments and the whole 9 yards, man, for about 8 months. Well, I go see my ball specialist one day, just for a routine checkup. And he said, hey, if you don't mind, I'm gonna have this nurse, this doctor come in here and sit in with us, man, so she can watch this, you know, let's check you out and stuff. She's trying to study to be a doctor. Now, let me explain something. Now, as a husband and wife that own this practice, but you could tell he did all the hiring. Because this is in Lubbock, and all the women that worked there from like Texas Tech, and they should have been strippers, every one of them. I mean, it was fucking sexy as hell, every one of these women. So she's standing behind me with a clipboard. And that doctor tells me, he goes, he's sitting there, I'm standing there in my Superman pose and with my junk out. He's sitting on his little stool, checking me out, and he goes, hey, just so you know, your insurance will pay for a prosthetic if you want one. You know, since you lost a testicle. And I said, well, sure, man. As long as I can get the same size I lost. Which the size I lost was about the size of a whiskey glass right here. He said, hey, man, they don't make them that big. So then I talked real low and real slow. And I said, man, I better not. I said, real inviting, like. So that young lady comes around my shoulder with a clipboard and she starts looking at me and she's like, well, why do you say that? So I flip my old dick around to her and I said, hell, every time I get something new, I like to show it off. So the same doctor, fast forward a little bit, I go in there and I get a vasectomy, man, go see the same ball specialist. I figure, hell, he's already seen my junk once, might as well let him cut on it again, you know. So we go in there, the young lady takes me to the back room, she starts checking me out. She says, hey, I got to inspect you and everything, make sure you're shaved and clean, make sure you're ready to go for the surgery. I said, no problem. So she checks me out and she says, she's filling me up. She says, it says here that you lost a testicle. I said, yes, ma'am. I had cancer a few years ago. She said, well, did you have 3? I said, no, ma'am, I just had the 2 and I lost 1. Then she said, are you sure? Ma'am, I've been checking that motherfucker every day of my life for as long as I can remember, okay? Like, I'm pretty sure I know what I got down there and shit. I may lie about it sometimes, but at least I know what I got. So she leaves the room, brings another nurse in. They're both checking me out. Next thing you know, I got 3 nurses there cranking on me and shit in this fucking doctor's office. The doctor comes in there and he starts rolling, man. He's like, what the fuck is going on in here? I said, man, you get about 10 more minutes. You ain't got to worry about this today, okay? He's like, man, did they give him a value? I was like, they ain't giving me nothing but a good time. And I usually had to pay for this guy's service. I'm fucking rock hard, man. Shit, you ain't cutting on me right now. I was like, hell, I'm trying to make another appointment for next week. You know, what can we do here? As long as my insurance pays for this, I'll be here weekly. So anyways, we go through all that. He does a little procedure and shit. We go on. I lost my train of thought now. Yeah. Well, anyway, I go to work in the oil field. I've been with them about 10 years or so. I go back with them 14 and 15, start getting laid off because they decided to let a bunch of people go. Well, I come back to work at the oil field. A friend of mine calls me up and says, hey man, I got a job for you. Come back to work. All you gotta go do is do a physical. All right, no big deal. Go get drug tested. So I show up to this drug testing office, right? And I've never been to a doctor's office where there ain't at least a half a dozen or a dozen people in the place. I show up to this big office and there ain't nobody in there. All there is some young lady with a tablet. I don't know if she's shopping or what she's doing or what's going on, but there ain't no one else in there. She's telling me I gotta wait. It's like, wait on who? There ain't nobody here. So finally somebody comes and gets me. She takes me to the back. I do a little piss test, do a little eye test. And I go in this little office. I walk in there and I'm standing there. She sneaks up behind me and starts whispering in my ear. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? She goes, that's your hearing test. I said, man, I ain't never had no hearing test like this, man. I was like, I don't know if she's trying to give me her number, trying to fucking what she's doing, or just being sweet on me, you know? I mean, hell, she right up on my neck and shit. Well, she leaves the room. Well, here comes this doctor in there. I guess he was a doctor. He could have been a janitor. He never introduced himself. He has a stethoscope on, so I don't know. I just assumed he was the doctor. He made me do a little physical squat, you know, move my arms up and down, whatever. Then he just grabs my cock out of nowhere. I'm like, hey man, what are you doing? So I was part of the physical. Well, then he grabs me like 3 more times. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? He goes, oh, you passed. I was like, how do you fail this? I mean, you got some young lady that comes in and gets my dick hard, you come in here and grab it. Like, how do I fail this test? I don't know, I passed the physical. I don't know, I see them every Tuesday now just to make sure I'm good and shit, but you know, it all works out pretty good. But anyways, like I said, I do this for my own amusement, not for y'all's. So I appreciate y'all listening. Y'all take it easy.